Today's morning devotional. Mercy toward the demoniacs. And when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce. Matthew chapter 8 verse 28. In the early morning the Saviour and his companions came to shore. But no sooner had they stepped upon the beach than their eyes were greeted by a sight more terrible than the fury of the tempest. From some hiding place among the tombs, two madmen rushed upon them as if to tear them in pieces. The disciples and their companions fled in terror, but presently they noticed that Jesus was not with them. He was standing where they had left him. He who had stilled the tempest did not flee before these demons. With authority he bade the unclean spirits come out of them. His words penetrated the darkened minds of the unfortunate men. A marvelous change had come over the demoniacs. Light had shone into their minds. Their eyes beamed with intelligence. The countenances, so long deformed into the image of Satan, became suddenly mild. The blood-stained hands were quiet, and with glad voices the men praised God for their deliverance. The people of Gergesenes had before them the living evidence of Christ's power and mercy. They saw the men who had been restored to reason, but they were so fearful of endangering their earthly interests that he who had vanquished the prince of darkness before their eyes was treated as an intruder, and the gift of heaven was turned from their doors. But far different was the feeling of the restored demoniacs. They desired the company of their deliverer. In his presence they felt secure from the demons that had tormented their lives and wasted their manhood. As Jesus was about to enter the boat, they kept close to his side, knelt at his feet, and begged him to keep them near him, where they might ever listen to his words. But Jesus bade them go home and tell what great things the Lord had done for them. As soon as Jesus pointed out their duty, they were ready to obey. Not only did they tell their own households and neighbors about Jesus, but they went throughout Decapolis, everywhere declaring his power to save. In doing this work they could receive a greater blessing than if, merely for benefit to themselves, they had remained in his presence. It is in working to spread the good news of salvation that we are brought near to the Savior. They could not instruct the people as the disciples who had been daily with Christ were able to do. But they bore in their own persons the evidence that Jesus was the Messiah. They could tell what they knew, what they themselves had seen, and heard, and felt of the power of Christ.